usually, like, we feel that small kids or school-going children, their mind is wired to learn things quickly. People like us, sometimes we take lots of time to learn. So you have taught all age group people. What's your opinion about, like, whether teaching to the school-going, college-going students is easier, or those who are professionals? Because so if I ask you now, that people also say that age is just a number, because I also started learning car driving in my 40s, and people were, no, they were terrifying me or petrifying me that at this age you are going to learn driving, and if you hit somewhere and something happens, then what would happen to your children and your family? You are not thinking of your family, you are just thinking of your passion. The ladies of 70s, they are also learning because they want to speak with their grandchildren in English. Somewhere their children are settled abroad, and then now with their children, they can certainly talk in Hindi or whatever their native language. But grandchildren, they are the citizen of those countries, so they don't understand Hindi. Now they are learning English for the sake of their grandchildren. So you see, if you have passion, if you have zeal, if you have that spark to learn something, and then you follow some pragmatic approach, then I think age is really just a number.
You said we could have done a lot of things to entertain ourselves, but we choose a difficult path, to come out from our comfort zone and to learn something. I have been rejected many times, getting the feedback that you need to work on your spoken English and everything. Good afternoon, Manju ma'am. How are you?
Good afternoon, Vandana. I'm doing pretty cool. Tell me about yourself. How are you doing? After a long time, I see you here.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Even I am very excited to connect you and to see you again. Yeah, I'm focusing on my channel, and nowadays I'm focusing more on making solo videos.
This is something
Yes.
good. Like, you have your own choice. You can select the topic and you can make at your pace whenever you are free, maybe at night, early in the morning, during the afternoon, anytime. Yes. So
Yes.
this is a kind of comfort when you make solo videos, and when we have to make like duet videos, as we are making conversation videos, we have to look for the timing, like whether the time suits to other person or not. That
Yes,
is very,
right.
yes.
Right.
So tell me, how is life treating you? How is work treating you? How is
Yes, ma'am.
family treating you?
No complaint as of now. So nowadays I'm quite busy with my job also. So I need to do job for 5 days in a week. And then remaining 2 days, I need to focus on myself and, recording some videos,
Mhm.
editing, and also learning language. So that's how I'm spending my days.
Okay, so I think when we connected before, that time you were not working, you were not into
Yes, that
job.
was not
That time you were not into job. So tell us something about your job first, because the second hustle I know.
okay. Right, ma'am. So actually, I will not be able to tell the name of company because it's a
Please,
bank.
please, no need, no need.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we have to keep few things confidential. Apart from that, actually, ma'am, since long time, I was dreaming to work in that
Right.
bank
Mhm.
because it's a UK international bank. So I was since long time I was applying and I was trying to get, but by God grace, it happened. And in December last year, I've joined,
Hmm.
and I think it's quite great. It's completely a, you know, I need to handle basically the roles of trainer, wherein I need to train people, I need to see for soft skills and everything. And yeah, it's completely back end. It's great. I mean, I'm really enjoying my work.
Okay, lovely, lovely. When you are happy doing anything, means what else do you need actually? Yeah. So your
Right,
purpose
right.
of life is somewhere you feel that I am doing something what I love to do it. Yes.
Exactly.
And then you are getting time for your growth also, because you said that just 5 days a week you are working there.
Yes, yes.
So Saturday, Sunday is off. Okay. How is your
Yes.
health? Everything is fine?
Yeah, everything is fine. And ma'am, I think this is something wherein I need to connect people and I need to have conversation. This is something I really enjoy. And I really love spending my these 2 days,
Hmm.
talking to people, connecting with them, making my own videos. Because when I'm in front of camera, I really feel, recognized, some kind of worth. Like I feel that I have some worth.
Right, right, right. Because if you are on your channel, Your audience, undoubtedly, they are watching you, they are learning a lot from you. But when you are present on someone else's channel, so your range is no quite wide. Okay, and then the different audience, they can also approach you, they can watch you, so you feel that somewhere I'm acknowledged, my work is acknowledged. When you go
Right.
through the comments on others channel, oh, Vandana speaks awesome, she's a wonderful speaker, so you love those things. Recently,
Right.
just 2 days back, housewife Mansi, she uploaded a conversation with me on her channel. So I just checked that the other videos were getting just 200, 300 views. And in a day, when I found that, okay, more than 800 views went on her channel. So I felt happy that the conversation with me, at least it's working well for her channel. Okay, it means the video is
That's
reaching to many people. This is what. So
right.
what is the use of making these videos? This is only the purpose that people should get to know about whatever they are seeking for. They are looking forward to learning this language, and how can they learn this? This is what our aim is. So what about your teaching, Vandana? When previously we connected, those days you are a trainer, you said, if I'm not wrong. So is it still going on with your job? Are you able to manage that?
Currently, I've holded coaching classes because I rarely get time to, because people who are connecting with me for coaching classes, some of them are working professionals, some of them are students, some are unemployed, so they all have different time availability.
True
So
that.
I was feeling it difficult to manage. So currently it's on hold, but apart from that, I on my channel, obviously I'm continuously uploading videos every day,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to connect with my subscribers and audience, so that they feel connected and they can share what they are feeling about the content, or they
Mhm.
have any feedback or any challenges if they are facing, or they want me to make video on some kind of a specific topic. So I'm
Hmm.
just trying to be active on YouTube nowadays.
Okay, right. But don't you feel that it's quite Herculean or maybe quite hectic for you, 5 days working? How many hours do you work in the office?
Ma'am, it's 9 hours, wherein
9 hours. Mm.
1.5 hour you can go on break. I mean, there is no not strict restrictions on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you want, you can go outside, you can enjoy, you can take break. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, you need to be there in office, you need to do your work. So that's where you need to be available for 5 days.
So 9 hours and 5 days. You are
Yes.
busy with your office job. And then whatever
Right.
time is left, then you have to think of yourself, your passion, your channel, your family, rest all the things. Okay, so now you are not teaching formally, it seems, but still I am ready with couple of questions because I felt that Vandana is a trainer, so I must ask certain questions related to uh, English learning. Do you
Oh,
feel free to answer such questions, or shall we talk on any other topic?
no, no, ma'am. I am happy. I'm glad to answer your questions, obviously. So you can go ahead with your questions. I'm ready.
Okay, right, right, right. So the very first thing what comes to my mind, Vandana, that usually like we feel that small kids or school going children, their mind is wired to learn things quickly, adopt things
Right.
nicely and quickly too, faster. But people like us, sometimes we take lots of time to learn. So you have taught all age group people. What's your opinion about like whether teaching to the school going, college going students is easier, or those who are professionals? Because you recently added that where you have been teaching, the professionals are there, students are there, all age group people are there. So what do you find easier?
Okay. So, ma'am, as far as I am aware, I think um, working professionals, especially the people or employ or our age group people, they have their own conditioning, right?
Mhm.
They have their own background where they have been, brought up, and they are too much connected with everything. They have their own mindset that is quite rigid. So it's difficult for us to change easily.
Mm,
I
right.
mean, whenever I give them training, especially I've seen
Mm,
they have their own questions, they have their own pros and cons for everything. So they are always there to discuss that with me. So we cannot convince them easily that this is the reason behind it, or we are doing because of this, or you need to learn it like this. They have their own opinion, they always come up with. But if I talk about children's, especially the school going kids, I think they do not have any distractions. Their brain is completely empty, so whatever we want, we can let them know, and they are, like you said, that their brain is wired to learn.
Hmm.
So it's easy for us to, yes, to teach them, and to make them understand like how it is, and how uh, why it is, right? But for professionals, it's quite hard for us to let them understood why we are doing this, what is the reason behind it. So this is my own opinion.
So in short, you feel that children are more receptive than somewhere
Yes,
adult. Yes.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I ask you now that people also say that age is just a number, because I also started learning car driving in my 40s, and people were, no, they were terrifying me or petrifying me that at this age you are going to learn driving, and if you hit somewhere and something happens, then what would happen to your children and your family? You are not thinking of your family, you are just thinking of your passion. But it was a
Okay.
kind of need for me, like every time when the drivers they were leaving, then we were like a school, you have to go every day, you can't leave. Okay. And then you don't know driving, so you have to, and 5 minutes late means whole day salary is to be cut, because we were in private schools. Okay, so that was the
Oh,
culture. So that's how I felt, why shall I be dependent on someone, that somebody would reach me the school and then I'll be available there? So let me learn driving, and I learned in my 40s. So I feel that sometimes, yes, age is just a number, but we can't change our mind, because with age, some changes automatically take place. So, what is your take on this, that age is just a number?
yeah. But I think, ma'am, this phrase is completely, it's a universal truth, or it's 100% true.
Right.
Because when we have a passion to do something internally, and when we are internally motivated, I think again it our age doesn't really matter. Whatever we want, we can get, and we can achieve that thing. I mean, nowadays we have a lot of examples, live examples, where we can see people, they are in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. They are even learning, they are growing, um, they are starting their new startup,
Mhm.
new businesses,
Mhm.
or whatever, I mean, they are into. So when we are really passionate, and we have that spirit to do something and to get something,
Mhm.
and we are ready to put our all efforts, and we are ready to go extra mile, I think it's absolutely easy for us to do that. It might happen that we will take some time to learn that or to achieve that, but I think it's easy, and it's possible for us.
It's all
What's
about
what like you
passion.
said, ma'am, in your example, you learned driving it in your 40s, so you are example yourself.
No, I just driving is something like people are these days struggling to learn this language as well. I see that somewhere the ladies of 70s, they are also learning, because they want to speak with their grandchildren in English. Somewhere their
Okay.
children are settled abroad. And then now with their children, they can certainly talk in Hindi or whatever their native language. But grandchildren, they are the citizen of those countries, so they don't understand Hindi. Now they are learning English for the sake of their grandchildren. So you see, if you have passion, if you have zeal, if you have that spark to learn something, and then you follow some pragmatic approach, then I think age is really just a number. We can achieve anything at any age. But still, like students, school going children, their brain is, as you said, that their brain is empty. You can feed anything into it. Like if the
Yes.
box is empty, you can keep it inside anything. But when it is already full, then it is difficult to even adjust one hanky inside.
Right, ma'am. Absolutely.
So, yes, right. Age is just a number, and sometimes people, if you see somewhere in joint family culture, I have seen that ladies or even male also, like 60s, once they are retired, they feel now my life is over and let me just sit at one place. But somewhere you see, I have personally seen, I'm also doing something after retirement too, but I have seen, no, in foreign countries, like most of the lady drivers are above 70s. Most of the lady drivers, and most of the tram and streetcar and yeah, local trains are driven by ladies, and they are all above, mostly they are above 60s.
Okay.
So anything
I
is
mean, I
possible.
wasn't aware about it, but I think it's beautiful that
Yes,
they are, I mean, they are not ready to sit idle at home.
right.
They still have the passion and zeal to do something.
Right, right. So only the planning is important. Like we always want to perform our best, but then
Right.
strategies which are required, that is to be followed. That is also important. Like if I
Right.
have to connect, I could have been on my bed, I could have watched TV, but I wanted to connect with Vandana. Why? Because I want to do something. I want to keep myself busy. So that's how I think everyone should have something in their life, some purpose in their life at any age. This is important.
Right.
And this is from my side for all ladies, especially those who are homemakers. They feel homemaking is enough for me. I can't do anything extra. They can do many things extra, many things, isn't it?
Right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I had a lot of conversation with a lot of ladies who are homemaker, and they still have the zeal to learn spoken English, and they always tell me that they are learning when their kids go to school. I mean, when
Hmm,
they went to school, they start learning, so they utilize that time.
right,
Like you said, we could have done a lot of things to entertain ourselves, but we choose a difficult path, to come out from our comfort zone and to learn something. So
right.
that's the beauty of life, and that's where we feel busy, and we feel productive.
Right. And then we feel a kind of fulfillment. Array, something extra I'm doing. What is the difference between, like, if we see, there are many people, something extra if you want to come up with, or you want to shine, you want to feel proud of on your own, I can say, then you need to
Mm.
do something extra. And that gives you a sense of fulfillment. So that is important.
Right.
Tell me, Vandana, your journey from a learner to a trainer, because mostly what happens, people think that Manju ma'am is speaking somewhere, whatever she is speaking or whatever Vandana is speaking, that was quite easy for them. Actually, nothing is that easy. Nothing comes without a price. So we have also faced the music of learning this language. But how was your journey? When did you feel like learning this language? What fascinated you? And then how your journey from learning to training the people? Would you like to tell us?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I'll try to keep it short, but
Right, right.
yes,
Mm.
like we discussed that when we are kids, our brain is completely empty.
Mm-hmm.
And learning this language starts when I was a kid. I was in third or fourth class. So at that time, ma'am, I mean, I got the opportunity to have English textbook in my hands, because prior to that, I used to go in a government school, and I really belong to a very middle class family. And at that time, it was hard for my parents to send their kid to English medium school. But my mom was always like, no, I need to educate my daughter. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I got the opportunity, and I really realized, and I tried to use that opportunity. So that's where I started to give hours in reading English books. I gave hours to read English vocabulary. So there was a time when my teacher gave homework to all students, that you need to learn 10 vocabulary tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that day I learned 500 vocabulary, and I, without even attending my teacher. And when that happened, my teacher started to say, oh my god, you're telling a lie, you can't learn 500 vocabulary.
In a
So
day.
she took from my hand
Mhm.
dictionary where I learned it, and she started to check. And I, like, literally, I told meaning of every word, and there was a applause, and my principal also came to praise me, and that was a time. But ma'am, to be very honest, when I started to get appreciation from my teachers, especially my principal ma'am and my class teachers, at
Mhm.
that time, it always energized me to learn more, to
Mhm.
put all efforts. And that's where I started, because at that time my teachers were not that habitual of speaking English. But at that time I felt, okay, I need to speak in English. So I started to speak and uttering those English words. Uh, I'm not sure whether I was wrong or right, or whether I was speaking correctly. But whenever I used to speak in English with any teacher, then I felt like I was on cloud nine.
Yes.
I I was before speaking English, I used to replay that sentence in my brain. I think 5 or 10 times. Whether is it correct? Whether is it correct, or will I be able to speak it in front of my teacher in my class? Uh, will I be able to correct, or will they make fun of me? So I was having a lot of doubt, hesitation, fear also, but I kept going anyhow. And at that time I like, obviously nowadays we have a lot of distraction, we need to manage family, office, work and everything, but at that time my focus was only my study. So my teacher also used to say, hey Vanna, just you need to spend some time in your hobbies also. You
Right.
need to do some activity or play some games. But I never did anything. I mean, I would not say that it's correct. I mean, a student should participate in everything, but at that time I was not really participating in anything apart from studying. So that's how my childhood, it's been like that. And slowly and gradually, when I started speaking, I started teaching my classmates in English, English chapters and everything. And yes, then when I entered in professional world, wherein I started to give interview and everything, I have been rejected many times. Getting the feedback that you need to work on your spoken English and everything. And that day I realized maybe I was not sufficient to get a job or anything. Then
Right.
I again started working and everything, and that's where I got the opportunity, to be a soft skill trainer. And I was very happy because I love teaching.
Right.
So I grabbed it. But ma'am, it was a difficult phase. I mean, the journey was not easy. It was quite rough, irregular, inconsistent. But the thing that I kept going is that, I kept going. I learned from my mistake. I learned from feedbacks that I got. And I was always ready. Okay, if you'll get rejected or if you'll not achieve that, then you'll learn something from that. That's how my
Valid point.
mindset was every
Valid.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even before giving interview for soft skill trainer, my friend told me
Mhm.
that you will not be able to crack it, don't go. I don't think so that you'll become soft skill trainer or anything. But then I said to her, okay, if I'll not get selected, then I learned something. I learned the question that would be asked from a soft skill trainer, how those questions would be. So with that mindset, I entered in interview room, and I cracked, I think there were 3 or 4 rounds. And it's a beautiful journey. But I would suggest to everyone, whosoever is wanted to do something or want to achieve or want to learn something, you have to have that optimistic mindset always. We need to ignore people, we need to ignore people who are really trying to pull your leg, or they are ready to discourage you every time. But you have to be with yourself, you have to be kind with yourself,
Right.
stay motivated and have that optimistic mindset. And I think that's how you'll achieve what you want.
So true. So true. Your mindset is everything. Yeah. Nobody else
Yes.
can motivate you. You are the best
Right.
person to motivate yourself, isn't it? If you are seeking some motivation from outside, so external motivation doesn't work for a long time, maybe for a day or two. But if you are motivated from within, then probably that can be long lasting.
Yes.
That is the thing. And if we keep on caring about there's somebody sitting there, whether their English is good or not, but they are always ready to criticize, they are always ready to find out fault in someone's English, let them do. That is their job. But what is your job? You should be crystal clear about it. That my aim is to learn the language. My aim is to grab a job. My aim is to face the interviews. As you said, that every interview, whether you are rejected or you are selected, every interview teaches us many things, not one or two things, many things. The way you talk, the way you receive the questions, the way you answer, the way your body language speaks a lot. So yes, every failure teaches us. Thomas Alva Edison failed 1,000 times and finally invented the bulb. So you can
Right,
imagine
ma'am.
if scientists, such great scientists, if they failed many times, then who are we? We are nowhere,
Mm.
isn't it?
Right, ma'am.
Okay. So such a lovely answer. I don't know. I feel like keep on asking questions, but one more thing. Like as you said that I kept on thinking whether I'll be able to speak the same thing which I have learned at home in front of the teacher or not. So you used thinking method, isn't it? Like you kept on thinking whatever the topic was and you had to speak in the class. So, what is
Right.
the role of thinking? Some people say that it is really very difficult to think. How can we think? And whenever we think in our native language. It's difficult to think in the other language. But with the time and process, I felt that it's not that difficult. Initially, yes, it was difficult for me as well, thinking in the other language. It always like it kept me skeptical. What am I doing? English? I mean, Hindi every time Hindi thoughts were overshadowing, actually, I must say. But finally, I started thinking whatever came to my mind. Now everything was coming in the second language. Okay. So, what is the role of thinking and how people can start thinking in English, according to you? I
Okay.
started thinking with each little things like if this is a pen, I started speaking about pen. If this is like TV was somewhere uh, out of the box actually. There were no TVs in our childhood. So when we were getting to know that somewhere somebody has purchased a TV, so it was a great thing for us. Then I was thinking and speaking about if I had a TV. Okay, so that's how we also have learned. What's the role of thinking according to you, and how it can be learned? This skill can be learned.
Okay, ma'am. So, like you mentioned, that initially it's quite difficult for us to train our brain to think in English. But I think we can start it from at our home. When you are alone at home, you can start talking to yourself. I mean, there is no one to judge you. There is no one to tell you that you're doing or you're making these mistakes. You are
Right.
alone at home. You are at your own pace. So start talking to yourself.
Mm,
Whatever household chores you are doing or whatever you're looking at, try to translate it into English. If you want, you can talk to yourself like loudly, not in your brain. So I started doing it. So whenever in my childhood, whenever I've learned a lot of vocabulary and I felt that confidence, now I can frame a complete sentence. So I've started doing at my home. So I was alone at home and you know, like whatever I used to do, I try to speak in English. For example, I'm sitting on sofa, I'm reading book. After reading book, I'll prepare my breakfast and then I'll have it and then I'll take bath and then I'll worship and I go to my school. This is how I need to frame it. And whenever I used to when I was unable to frame anything, then I used to write it in my notepad and go to school and ask my teachers how to translate it into English. So that was the activity that I kept doing. And ma'am, when I was after a couple of months, I was able to frame entire sentence in English, whatever I tried to talk in. Then slowly and gradually I felt that confidence. Okay, now I can do a conversation, or now I can frame the complete sentence in English. Then I started to go to my teacher and started to talk to them. And then at end of conversation, I used to ask them, okay, now was I correct while talking in English or not? So this is what I used to do.
oh,
So people who are really looking forward and they're feeling difficulty, or maybe you are hesitated to talk to people out there, then at your home try to speak with yourself. Do not think about grammatical error or any errors you're making. Just try to utter English words from your mouth, and you have to do it if you really want to speak in English. A lot of people are there in my classes also, ma'am. They used to say like they watch English podcasts, they watch English movies, they read books, but from learning from outside you will not be able to speak. You will able to speak only when you'll open your mouth, you will utter those English words from your mouth. Then only you'll feel that confidence and you'll have that fluency after a couple of days. So that's what I want to suggest. So start doing at your home, try to translate everything. And nowadays we have a lot of options to learn. I mean, we have chat GPT, obviously.
right.
So in Yes, ma'am. In your phone also. So whenever you feel interrupted or you feel stuck somewhere, just go to ChatGPT and ask it. And I think it's the best tutor that you always have in your hand.
So
So
true.
doing it, and then try to engage in conversation with your friend, with your family, where you feel comfortable, where you don't feel being judged or being laughed at.
Mhm.
Start doing that and then go outside. But you need to always have that mindset, okay, I can make mistake and that's absolutely fine, I learn from it. Even now when I'm talking to you, I might make, errors while speaking, but I'm ready from my mindset because it's a completely a different language, so you can make mistake. You have to be in that mindset always. So when you face those kind of embarrassing situations where people are laughing at you, or they are saying to you, oh, you spoke this word or this sentence incorrectly, then just be ready for that. Be ready. You might laugh on your errors also, and then try to correct it. That's fine. But after a couple of months or maybe years, you'll be fluent. Then
Right.
rarely you'll make mistake. That's how I think.
Right, right. First, maybe if like you start speaking on any object or anything, maybe after a sentence or two, you feel stuck, totally stuck. That what next? I don't have words to say. I don't have idea. I cannot organize any thought related to it. Okay, but later maybe you can correlate many different things related to one topic. To you can switch to different genre actually. Started talking about a book, and then talking you went to the other mall, and then from there you purchased something, and from there you met your friend, and then you had a coffee. So many things from one topic to the other topic you can switch. But that's how, if you keep on thinking, then you can gather some ideas that how can I elaborate and explain certain things. Is it only that talking about this is a pen, or pen is used for what, which brand it is, what cost it has. So all these things we can describe. Yes.
I think, ma'am, it's a beautiful strategy and a beautiful practice. I think you should make a long video on it, solo video on it, because this is something that I have done umpteenth of time, thousand of times. I used to pick a object and I used to speak on that at least 8 to 10 sentences. So the practice that you just mentioned, I think everyone should know about it and they should follow it.
Right, right. Because that works. That works. Initially, it's not about English. What we feel that we are not able to speak in English. It's not about language. It's about thought process. Like certain things,
Yes.
even if a topic has been given to you or even me to speak in Hindi, maybe we can't
Right.
speak for more than 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. There is a limit of speaking on any topic until or unless you have a lots of data about that, or you have some information about it, or else
Yes.
just keep speaking, pause, give a pause for some time, think again, okay, what else, I went to mall, then what did I do, even you did not do anything, add something just for a speaking practice. Okay, and
Yeah.
that's how you can speak up for long time. So yes, thinking has a great role. But yes, many of my students, they say that thinking doesn't come in different language. For me, I still think in Hindi, but yes, they speak well, but still they have started speaking better than me, so I feel happy, because again, this new generation, their potential, and for them many things are accessible, as you said. Mobile, although I have mobile, I don't feel like checking on somewhere. I again turn the books, that those traditional methods only, because my
Yes.
mind is wired to that. So learning a new
Right.
skill, again, I need to understand that how much chat gpt is helpful. Okay.
Mm.
Because my time, my days were not like that. Only dictionary was there, and we were getting to know each and every word from that dictionary. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Vandana, I think we talked a lot, and it was a wonderful, wonderful session, and your answers were impeccable, and I loved it. Thank you so much for spending your time, energy. You said in the beginning that you were not feeling like connecting today, but still you thought that ma'am has told me, so you connected. Thanks for everything, Vandana.
Thank you, ma'am. I mean, I it was really insightful conversation, and I really feel connected with you. Like you said that, do I really want to ask any question? But when I'm talking to you, I'm feeling like you are also putting your thoughts. You're also, sharing something insightful with us. So it was really insightful conversation. I really feel connected and happy. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, Vandana. See you again in the next session sometime. Okay.
Sure, sure. I'm always ready, ma'am. Sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
Vandana. Okay, bye bye.
Bye, bye, ma'am.